In the previous video, I have talked about the counter wizard, where on the click of a button, we are changing the value on the user interface. And on the click of the another button, we are actually resetting the value back to zero. Actually, in that scenario, the data was communicating between the user interface and the backend or the logic. In this video, we are going to talk about data binding, where we are going to connect user interface with the logic so that the data can travel seamlessly. So without wasting any time further, let's proceed with the video.
I set to thinking I could make something of me, playing every game except the ladder.
So first thing first, what is data binding in LWC? Data binding is actually a mechanism by which data is synced between the user interface, that is nothing but the HTML, and the logic or the backend, that is nothing but the JavaScript. So an LWC component is composed of the front end and the back end. And here we are going to talk about how the data is synced between the front end and the back end. And that is nothing but data binding. In LWC, there are types of data binding. One is known as one-way binding, and the other one is known as two-way binding. One-way binding is the case where the data flows from the component's logic, that is the JavaScript, to the component's user interface, that is the HTML. The two-way binding is known as when the data flows both ways, that is from the UI to the backend and from the backend to the UI. Now first talk about one-way data binding. The one-way data binding updates the UI when the underlying data changes in the JavaScript file. So as soon as any change is made in the JavaScript will automatically reflect on the user interface, where the changes in the UI do not automatically reflect back in the JavaScript file. So that's why, because the data is traveling on one side only or monochromatic way, that's why it is known as one-way data binding. An example for that is, as you can clearly see here in the JS part of the LWC, we have assigned hello LWC to a message variable. If we move on to the HTML part of it, you can clearly see that message variable is shown on the user interface. So in case if we are making any change in the backend, then that specific change will reflect on the UI. And this is the best example of one-way data binding. So if you will run this, you will clearly get an output of hello LWC on the user interface. If we talk about two-way data binding, it enables changes in the user interface to update the component's logic. So if we are making any change on the user interface, or to be very true, if the user make any change on the user interface, that will automatically reflect the logic of the LWC. It is commonly used with the input fields. Here, if you clearly see in this example, in the JS part of it, the name variable is assigned with no value or is blank. But we have an handler over here. Because of that handler, any change made on the input variable or any change made on the text box of the user interface will automatically change the value of the variable. And at the same time, we are also showing the same variable on the user interface. So here, the change made on the user interface will update the variable, and the change in the variable will update the user interface. That's why this kind of data binding is known as two-way data binding. Now, what is reactive data binding? The key concept between reactive data binding is LWC relies on the reactive property to track changes. In the beginning of the LWC, we use @track to make the variables reactive so that any change made on the user interface can reflect on that variable, and the same applies vice versa. But now, by default, all the basic variables in the LWC are reactive. Yes, of course, if we will go with the complex variable like an array of objects, then in those situations, we have to make it reactive from our end. Now we will talk about at the rate track later down the line, and then you will know how we can make complex variables reactive. But in our LWC, by default, all the variables, or I should say, all the simple variables have reactive property, and hence any change made on that will automatically update the DOM. That is nothing but document object model. An example of that is in the previous example that I have shown to you, the message and the name were reactive because making change on them will automatically update the user interface. Now let's differentiate between one-way and two-way data binding. If we talk about one-way data binding, the data flow direction is always from the logic to the user interface, that is from the JavaScript to the HTML. And if we talk about two-way data binding, it is bidirectional. That means changes made on the logic will reflect the UI, or changes made on the UI will reflect the logic. If we talk about interaction, UI does not update the logic. So any change made on the UI will not reflect on the logic in case of one-way data binding. But in case of two-way data binding, UI updates logic automatically. If we talk about the common use case, the one-way data binding common use case is displaying dynamic values on the UI. And if we talk about two-way data binding, any form input, that is any form input on the UI will update real time in the backend, and that can be used in the UI itself. Now let's talk about the best practices for data binding in LWC. Use one-way data binding where possible. It's simpler and reduce the risk of unintended changes. Restrict two-way data binding to inputs. Use it only when the UI needs to update the logic dynamically. So be careful when you are using two-way data binding. Always use two-way data binding when you want that any change made on the user interface should change the value of the variable or should change the data throughout the logic. Always keep your JavaScript simple. So let LWC's reactive system handle most of the updates and don't try to complicate it by your side. And avoid binding overhead. So minimize the unnecessary data binding so that you can optimize the performance, because too much of data binding will definitely impact on the performance of the interface and will definitely impact the user's efficiency. Now, let's have an hands-on practice on it. So for that, we will have an objective to build a component to display and update a user's name dynamically. So the task says that we will create an input field with two-way data binding for a name property. Definitely, whenever the user is going to make any change on the name, that should reflect to the backend or to the logic, and that change should also show on the front end itself. So a display message will also be there that is going to make change according to the change of the user input. Steps involved in it will be we will use event for two-way data binding in HTML, and we will update the name property in the JavaScript file. The expected output will give a live update of the user's name as they type. So without wasting any time further, let's proceed to the practical part of it and let's see how the two-way data binding works. So here we are on our VS Code, and as you can see, I have already created an LWC over here with the name two-way data binding, or I should say two-way binding. In the meta file, I have already exposed it, and I have exposed it to the app page. In the HTML part, you can see I have created a lightning card. Inside the lightning card, I am having a div, and I am not having any footer over here. In the title of the lightning card, I have mentioned it as data binding, and the icon name I have simply suggested as standard account. Though you know how you can change it, and we will talk about that in a separate video in detail. Inside the card or inside the div of the card, I have added a lightning layout with two lightning items or two lightning layout items. Each layout item is of size 6, and I have added a horizontal padding to it. So it will definitely add some space over there. In the first lightning layout item, I have added an input type that is nothing but a text. So it will add a text box. The variant of it is standard. The name I have given it as name, and the label of it will be name itself. If you see here in the second layout item, I have used two variables. One is message and one is name. Now, in the JS part of it, I'm going to create these two variables. The first variable message, I'm mentioning it as hello. So the message variable will contain hello itself. And just to make sure that should be some space after this hello, I'm adding a space. And that's it. So the change over here or the value that I've provided over here is in the logic part of it, that is in the JS part of it. And that value will reflect here on the UI. So this is one-way data binding, right? Similarly, I'm using the name variable and I'm not assigning anything to it. So I'm making it blank. So this is another one-way data binding. So the changes made over here is in the logic part of it, and it is going to reflect on the UI. So to check the output of it, I need to deploy it. So I will right click on it and I will go to the deploy this source to org. As everything is deployed successfully, now I need to go back to my org and see the output of it. Here we are in our org, and as you know, I have created an app practice page. So on this app practice page, I'm going to come to the right side on the gear icon, and I'm going to right click on this edit page and click on open link in new tab. So this will open in new tab the Lightning App Builder with this specific page over there. Now, on the left side under the component section, we can collapse the standard and we can see under the custom about our two-way binding LWC. So I'm dragging and dropping it over here. So this is my LWC landed on the page. I will save this page, go back to the other tab and refresh it. So you can clearly see it is printing hello over there with a space afterwards it. So the value of the message and the value of the name is displayed on the user interface, which is nothing but one-way data binding. Now, what I want is my changes made on the user interface should reflect to the variable, and that change on the variable will again should reflect on the user interface. For that, I'm going to use this text box. So what I want is as soon as I'm typing here like Amit space Kumar, this should reflect to the variable and that should reflect to the interface itself. Now to make that change, I'm going to take the help of event. I have already talked about events in the previous video, and if you haven't watched that video, you can click on the top right corner right now and go and watch that right now. But for now, I'm going to use the on change event listener on this text box. So let's go back to the VS Code and add an on change event listener on this text box. So here on the HTML, on the text box, I'm going to add an on change and I'm going to provide a handler over there and I will name it as handle change. Now this handler is to be created on the JS part of it. So in the JavaScript, I'm going to create this handle change and I'm going to have an event object inside it. Now, as you know, the event object contains the information about the event. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide the value of the event. Now, whenever I'm going to type anything on the text box, the event will take that value. In the previous case, we have discussed that event.detail that value will going to reflect or will going to provide the value that I have provided on the text box. So as soon as I provide anything on the text box, that will come to the event object. From the event object with the detail dot value, I'm going to get that value and I'm going to assign that value on this name. So this dot name is going to tell that this is not a normal name variable or a local name variable. It is the global variable, or I should say it is the class variable. And the value that I have entered on the text box will come into this specific variable. And as you know, I'm already showing this variable over here. So the change made on the UI will change the variable and the value change of the variable will reflect on the UI. So let's redeploy it and see the output. Now, as I have deployed it, I will come to the org and I will open the inspect window. Then I will right click on the refresh button and click on empty cache and hard reload. Now here in the text box, I'm going to type something. So you can see as soon as I'm typing, it is reflecting on the user interface itself. So I'm typing Amit Kumar and it is showing hello Amit Kumar. This is a simple example to show you how a two-way data binding works. Now, don't forget to give a like to this specific video. If this video have helped you in any way, it's going to increase the reach of this specific video and this specific channel. If you have any question, don't forget to type the question in the comment. I'm going to read each and individual comments and going to reply to them either by text or by a new video on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe the channel if you haven't subscribed it yet and click on the notification icon so that you can get the notification of any new video loaded on the channel. That marks the end of this video. See you soon in the next video. Till then, thank you and take care.
I set to thinking I could make something of me, playing every game except the lie.